I just got this shirt. I'm calling it my daiquiri shirt because today we are doing the daiquiri. Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today we are making 2 daiquiris. That's right, we're covering the daiquiri because we are coming up on National Daiquiri Day, if that matters to any of you. I didn't know about it until some of you pointed it out for me. Thank you very much. And said, hey, Anders, just so you know, National Daiquiri Day is coming up. So I thought, all right, let's make a daiquiri. This is a great drink. It's 3 ingredients: rum, lime, sugar. That's it. Now, this is one that a lot of experts will say it's important to get just right. A little too much lime and it's gonna be way too sour, a little too much sugar and it's way too sweet. I think that this approach is a little intimidating. So I say, you know what? With these 3 ingredients, this is a chance for you to mix them, balance it to your taste, and soon you will start to trust your palate. So I think this is a good one to learn on. I'm gonna make a pretty straightforward daiquiri, how I would make it if somebody were to sit on the other side of the bar and order a daiquiri. Then I'm gonna make it with some bigger flavors. Not saying one's better than the other, I like them both, it just depends what mood I'm in. But I wanna show you a different way to make a daiquiri, but I'm still staying in that template of rum, lime, sugar. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes, and let's go make the daiquiri. To the bar. The classic daiquiri is said to have been introduced, invented, created by Jennings Cox in 1898. Now, he named it after a small mining village called Daiquiri in Cuba. He could not have been the first to mix rum, lime, and sugar. These are 3 things that were very prevalent in Cuba at the time, and long before Mr. Cox came along. However, he's the one who gave it the name daiquiri. His original daiquiri is not the daiquiri that we're gonna be making today. The one that we're making today is gonna be shaken, served up in a chilled coupe. The one that Mr. Cox was making was served in an ice-filled glass. 10 years later, an admiral named Lucius Johnson, who came to Daiquiri, Cuba, had one of Cox's cocktails, loved it, and took the recipe back to the US. Now, meanwhile, back in Cuba, the drink started to evolve, and we can thank Constantino Ribalaigua. He went by Constante. I'll call him Constante. Constante came up with the original frozen daiquiri, and that was a roaring success. He also came up with a few other daiquiris, one being the Hemingway daiquiri, which the original recipe was said to not be all that great because Ernest Hemingway had some say in it and was diabetic and they didn't have the sugar, so later it became a great cocktail, and I love a Hemingway daiquiri. Have not done that on the channel, but we will in the future. We'll also probably do a frozen daiquiri in the future, because there are a lot of really good cocktails in the daiquiri family that we can talk about. But there are a lot of other cocktails in the daiquiri family that I don't know that we need to talk about. There are places, they have drive-up daiquiri stands. Rather concerning, but that's where you go if you want a really sweet daiquiri. I mean, it's a business model that I'm sure does really well. Yeah, so there are some daiquiris that I am probably not gonna explore. I don't know, who's to say what happens with this channel? Maybe I will go explore some crazy fruity daiquiris, but not today. Today we are doing the classic, shaken, served up, ice cold coupe. In fact, if you don't have your glassware chilled right now, get this one in the freezer. This one is important to be ice cold. Now the booze. Okay, what do we got here? Now, before I pull out the bottles, I just want to reiterate that I'm making this 2 ways. I'm gonna do a traditional light daiquiri, and the other one I'm just gonna call a dark daiquiri because it's darker than the light daiquiri. For our classic daiquiri, we'll need a light rum, fresh lime juice, and simple syrup. The light rum I'm using is Real McCoy 3, and there are some that say you have to use a Cuban style rum. This is not a Cuban style rum. This is from Barbados, but it's absolutely wonderful. And it's not an overly strong rum flavor. Traditionally, you would use Bacardi. Back then, it was made in Cuba, no longer made in Cuba. It's made in Puerto Rico now. So I say it doesn't really matter. Light rum, light rum, light rum, light rum. Lime juice, fresh lime juice. This is my semi-rich simple syrup, 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water. You could use a straight 1-to-1 simple syrup, that's fine. I do like the added texture in this drink because of the semi-rich. For the dark daiquiri, I'm gonna swap out the light rum with a dark Jamaican rum, and I'm gonna swap out my simple syrup with a rich Demerara syrup. So here, I'm using the rich syrup. It makes this rich flavor that's really good, and it goes great with a dark Jamaican rum. There are people that will say, this is not a daiquiri. I call this a daiquiri because the essential components are the same. Now, it's also good if you want to mix rums, but I'm not doing that today. Let's build. Here we go. I'm gonna build these at the same time. We're gonna start with our classic daiquiri. Take 2 ounces of the light rum. To that, I will add half an ounce of our semi-rich simple syrup and 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice. Now we can move on to the dark daiquiri. We'll start with the rum. I'm gonna do the same, 2 ounces of a Jamaican rum. I'm gonna add half an ounce of the rich Demerara syrup. Now at this point, I'm gonna go with a full ounce of lime juice because of the richer syrup and the heavier rum to get the balance that I like. Now we can add ice and shake. 15 seconds or so till it's good and cold. It's nice and frosty on the side. Grab your chilled glassware and we can double strain right into the coupe. I'm gonna start with the classic daiquiri and then the dark daiquiri. Now there is a 1/4 ounce more liquid in here. Make sure you don't overflow your coupe. I'm gonna garnish with a lime wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 daiquiris. Cheers. All right, I'm gonna start with the lighter of the 2, the classic. Cheers. Try this and you will love it. I don't know who doesn't love a daiquiri. It's a perfect balance of sweet and tart. I would say in this instance, I like having a white sugar for the simple as opposed to the Demerara because I can taste the creamy, almost vanilla notes that are in the rum itself. Just enough sweetness, so it's still a sour cocktail, but it's not a bracingly tart drink. Tough to beat that one. But we're gonna try with this one. So now the dark daiquiri. Cheers. It tastes completely different than the classic, but you get the same level of tartness. You get a heavier sweetness. You can taste the molasses kind of caramely notes from the Demerara, and it's got that funk, which I love. So if you like Jamaican rums, if you like any rum, put it in a daiquiri. Take one more sip here. I say it's really tough to beat a classic daiquiri. So there we are, daiquiri 2 ways. Are these both daiquiris? Yes, I say they are. Rum, sugar, lime. Let me know in the comments down below what rum you're using in your daiquiri. Like and subscribe. Make a daiquiri, enjoy National Daiquiri Day, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Hey Siri, when is National Daiquiri Day? Oh, she's not talking. October 4th? Oh, that's National Taco Day. National Taco Day is October 4th. I've been waiting all year.